Hi, my name is Mark Odyssey, and this is my digital narrative for equity and social justice at Bloomington University. It's part of my master's degree in applied technology and education. So, starting off, since this is basically an autobiography and how my life experiences have shaped who I've become as a teacher, I want to talk a little bit about myself. I was born in 1986 in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, to Kate and Ella Odyssey. I was born outside Allentown, in a fairly rural, non-diverse area. I had one older brother, Matt, and one younger sister, Alexis. Growing up, I played a lot of sports, um, and I eventually earned a scholarship to swim at the University of Delaware, and where I got my master's degree in history education. Currently, as an adult, I really enjoy teaching, and I also enjoy the moments when I'm not working and the moments I get to experience outside and a variety of outdoor activities, especially related to fly fishing. I currently have a girlfriend, Katie, there on the top right. She's an environmental scientist in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I've split my time between Delaware, where I currently live and teach, and Philadelphia, where Katie is. So for this autobiography, I'm going to talk about a few life experiences that I think have shaped who I've become. For one, I grew up in a fairly non-diverse area in a Caucasian family that was very, very close and tight knit. I lived with my parents, my older brother and sister, but also my grandparents. So I always had an adult around to keep me in line and to make sure that I was meeting expectations and I wasn't getting out of hand. Another thing that impacted me growing up was the fact that I was raised Roman Catholic. I attended church every Sunday. I attended CCD classes after church and some weeknights. And I even attended some religious camps in the summertime called Young Life. I would say that I'm not a religious person anymore, but at the same time, being raised Roman Catholic taught me and provided me with a very strong moral and ethic foundation. Even though I'm not religious at the moment, it taught me to respect people that are and may be tolerant to other people's beliefs. I would classify ourselves economically as being middle class. My dad had a very, very strong work ethic and worked all the time to the point where sometimes he wasn't around at all because he worked nights and slept during the day while we were at school. So that taught me a very strong work ethic. They had very, very high expectations for me. And eventually my mother became a teacher, continuing in a long line of teachers in my family, including my grandparents and some of my aunts and uncles. And now I'm a teacher, my older brother is a teacher, and my younger sister is also a teacher. Thinking about, the importance of family, family goes a really, really long way in shaping the direction that people head and what they believe in ideologically, politically, religiously, and really shapes their view of the world. As an adolescent, one particular story stands out and it goes to show the type of expectations my parents had or what I thought their expectation was. I got in trouble in fifth grade. I got detention. My parents came home to find me crying on the bed. And I was not upset because I got detention. I was upset because I thought that the detention would ruin my chances of getting a full ride to Penn State. My parents kind of chuckled. They had never really said that was the expectation, but kind of growing up the environment I grew up in, I was kind of hardwired to believe that that was the expectation. Um, Beyond that, as a teenager attending my local school, two things happened. One, I really, really focused in athletics and swimming. I spent so much time at school as part of that athletic community, practicing and competing. It helped develop a very strong work ethic in me that I translated into the classroom and helped me really establish some lifelong friends that I still have today. Another thing that happened at high school, I decided to become a teacher. And when students ask me in my classes today, why are you a teacher, Mr. Urgency? I usually tell them that in high school, I had a lot of teachers that didn't teach and I had a lot of coaches that didn't coach. and it really, really made me angry. It really grinded my gears. And every now and then I had a teacher that was amazing. And I had a few coaches, thankfully, that were really, really good. And those people really enabled me to see the impact that teachers and coaches could have on students' lives. And that's what really inspired me to become a teacher. As I said before, I grew up in a very non-diverse area. My parents didn't really have the money to travel and to see new things. Um, my high school was predominantly all Caucasian. Um, my parents and my grandparents took me, food from Hungary and Poland, but that was kind of like our heritage. So I never really even had any type of ethnic food. So going to college, this is when I first truly experienced diversity. My freshman roommate and some other roommates I had in college were openly gay. Some of my roommates also, or suite mates, were African American and came from other areas of the world. So it really opened my eyes to what was out there. Secondly, in part of education at University of Delaware, I studied history. So even though some of the classes were very, Eurocentric, focused mainly on, Western history, I was able to take a lot of classes that did not have that as a point of emphasis. But anyway, the part of being a history student is being able to analyze and see varying perspectives on events. And that really, really helped shape my worldview, um, politically, ideology, and economically. After graduation, I began to travel more. I was able to spend a few months in the Caribbean, living in the British Virgin Islands, where I was exposed to this hybrid of Western, of Mesoamerican, and of African culture. I was able to spend some time in Western Mexico. And my brother became an international teacher at this time period, and he was able to spend several years in Africa. And I was able to see and hear a lot about his experiences. It also, in adulthood, enabled me to further my education through a variety of professional development opportunities, and also at Wilmington University, where I'm getting my master's in applied technology and education. So combining that with my teaching experiences, I taught at two very diverse schools in terms of ethnicity, in terms of religion, in terms of socioeconomic level, and also in terms of ability level within their student populations. So I was able to take my professional development training, my experiences at the University of Delaware and now at Wilmington University, and apply these strategies to make sure that I'm becoming a more multicultural and culturally relevant educator. Right now, and over the past 3 years, I've taught global studies. Global studies is a glorified geography course, but my main purpose and goal is to expand my students' horizons to help them develop a more worldly view rather than the American-centric teenage bubble that they currently find themselves in. So my whole point of emphasis is for them to experience cultures from all over the world, for them to analyze and see events that are happening from multiple perspectives, and become more respectful and tolerant of one another and understanding of one another. And that ties into kind of my final thoughts on this project. The importance of self-reflection as an educator is extremely important. We need to know and understand who we are as people before we can know and understand our students and really reach out to them and meet their needs. This class has really taught me the importance of being more multicultural and meeting the needs of your students. It's also taught me about the impact that I can have as a teacher on my students' lives. And combining that with my master's degree in technology, we can really work together to decrease things like the achievement gap and the digital divide that impact people, and really teach them to become modern, global 21st century students that are capable of succeeding in a world that's only becoming more interconnected through technology. And we can prepare them to thrive in that world by teaching them the skills they need, like active communication, active collaboration, because they're going to be graduating into an environment where they're going to have to work together with people from all different backgrounds, all different ability levels, and they're going to have to do that in order to thrive. Thanks.